What is going on, guys? It's Breathe, aka Dissonance by Design here. I apologize for the lack of content recently. I will explain why in the next full gameplay video that I do. But what I'm bringing you guys today is a full free defensive ebook of the Kansas City Chiefs Playbook. Now, this is the defense that I have been running since the beginning of Madden 25 pretty much. I do use this in money games, so this is useful tips. A lot of defense is just preference, so this is just what I run, but enough babbling. The formations I'm going to be going over are 3-4 odd, 3-4 over ed, 3-4 even briefly, nickel 2-4-5 even, and then sub 2-3-6. All of these formations will have dual edge, heat, getting one guy in from the left and right, and then also coverage Ds. And I'm also going to show you guys how to sub your players before you pick your play to get the maximum results for this. So first off, getting into 3-4 odd, this is the base defense that I run. This is the formation that I run the most because you can get fast dual edge, and the coverage defense is actually really nice, especially with the adjustments I make that I'm going to show you. So the subs for this, the people that are going to be getting to the quarterback on your dual edge blitz are going to be your right outside linebacker right there, who's on the left of the screen. I've got Tamba Hawley there. And then your left outside linebacker, who's going to be Justin Houston. Now the other sub you want to do is you want to make your D tackle, number 92 right there, you want to make him your fastest defensive end because he's going to end up being your quarterback spy in your coverage defense. And then you also want to take your best pass rushers and put them on each end right there where 70 and 94 are. So I'm going to put Poe on the right, and then DeVito's on the left, and then I got Jackson at D tackle to be the quarterback spy. So your base play that you want to come out on is pinch cover 0. It's the A play right there. And I'm going to pick a pass play that has no blockers to show you the heat. So this is what it looks like. If you're into shading, as in like shading outside receivers left or right or whatever, do not man align. Because if you man align, you can't shade. I don't know why that is in this game. That's just the way it is. But I like to man align. These are your adjustments, by the way, pre-play. So man align. Then you're going to shift the defensive line to the right. Then you're going to crash them out. And then you're going to move this linebacker directly behind that linebacker right there. So this is exactly what it should look like. You should get dual edge heat right there. What's going to happen is Jordan right here is going to sweep in, and he's going to take up the left tackle right there. And then the way the blitzing angles work over here, Houston's just going to come right in on the right side. So I'll show you what it looks like. As my controller vibrates, should turn that off. Pretty fast blitz. Sometimes you'll get that guy in on the right like insanely fast, like faster than you'd ever imagine. I say that like you're going to Disneyland or something. But yeah, that's the dual edge. You get both outside linebackers in like that, and it's pretty fast. I like that blitz a lot. Now as far as adjustments in your coverage, as you can see, you've got 5 people in coverage, and they're all in man-to-man right now. What I like to do is put each cornerback in a yellow zone because these will at least get you close. If they're running quick out routes or smart route out routes or curls or anything like that, at least your guy will be there, and then you can adjust to that from there. And then also if they try to do streaks, because they figured out you put those guys in yellow zones. The yellow zones are actually pretty good at following streaks for a decent amount of time, so they won't just be able to hit you deep. The yellow zones will cover streaks long enough for your blitz to get there. So that's a pretty safe coverage adjustment.
And then I like to leave the safeties
on man coverage here on the inside receivers.
Just because the only thing that really beats them when they're shaded inside,
I like the way they are, is corner routes, but then you have your yellow zones right there for those corner routes. So pretty good all-around coverage with the 4 people that are going to be the computer, and then you just lurk with your middle linebacker right here. You can just put them wherever, and the blitz will work. Another suggestion I have, a lot of people don't know this, which is kind of surprising. Always pass commit when you're blitzing, because if you pass commit when you're blitzing, let's say here, I'll audible to play action. If you pass commit when you blitz, the blitzers are going to go for the quarterback regardless. So you always want to pass commit to make sure your blitzes get there, because that's the strategy some people use, is they think that if they run play action, the blitzers are going to go for the running back and then they'll have time. But as you can see right here, the blitzers are just going to go right for the quarterback on play action. I don't know why I only got 1 in right there. Maybe I did the adjustments wrong. I'll do it again right here. Forgot to man align. So yeah, pass commit on play action, and you'll be good. I think it's just blocking like that because of play action, but that is dual edge, as I showed you before. This is the base play out of 3-4 odd you want to run. This is what it looks like, standard, and then obviously pass commit, and you should get both ends in there like that. Now, if you want heat from the right side, all you do is the same adjustments, except when you move Jordan over here, you can just put him on a purple, or you can man him up on the receiver and then user this guy or something. It's all preference, but that's the only adjustment. Instead of leaving him here on a blitz, you just have 1 extra coverage there, and then Houston should come in off the right side like that. If you want heat from the left side, same adjustments. You're going to leave Jordan on this blitz right here, and then you're going to take Houston and put him in a purple, or man him up on, if I could figure out how to, or man him up on the receiver that he's closest to or whatever. It's all preference when it comes to coverage audibles. You want to make adjustments to what your opponent is trying to do. But in that scenario, you get Tamba Hawley off the left edge. So that's your blitz. Now coverage D at a 3-4 odd. So when you switch to cover 3 right here, you're going to see those safeties swap. But if you do that right out of the gate, they're not going to notice. Your opponent's not going to notice that your safeties just swap positions. So if you're planning on running coverage D, obviously come out and pinch cover 0 and then hit cover 3 right away. Because generally before the snap, you know if you want to blitz or if you want to run coverage D. This is what it looks like. So you man a line. So that kind of makes the coverage a little funky. And then you're going to do the same adjustments. And that's what it should look like. And then you're going to have your DT, like I said, your fastest defensive end in a spy. So you're only rushing 3 here. And then what I like to do is bring Barry down, and I like to lurk the right side of the field right here, because I can lurk out routes. Yellow zones in the middle of the field are pretty good at covering most routes, unless they're hitting you with like skinny posts and stuff. So I like to lurk the outside this year instead of the inside, unless someone's killing me on the inside with something. Like I said, it's all preference. But the nice thing about this coverage D out of 3-4 odd is watch the blitzers off the right side. So you've got the defensive end crashing out, and you've got Houston crashing in. But watch what happens. Houston's going to get in there almost to the quarterback, and there's going to have to be a lineman from the left side coming and picking him up. So if you get someone that has happy feet or that gets nervous at pressure, because their controller will vibrate on this, this is a great coverage D to run, because as I said, you're only blitzing 3, and that guy on the right, Houston, is going to pretty much get in there almost to the quarterback. So you can either cause a rollout or you can cause a quick pass into coverage. This is one of the best 3-man rush defenses in the game, in my opinion, just because you can get a linebacker pretty much to the quarterback, like I said. I'll show you again here. Houston's going to get there almost, and then you can even click on
and swap them off if you wanted, if everything looks good in the coverage.
Set this up again. Here, I'll redo it. If you wanted to not man align this, it actually creates kind of a funky coverage. Oh, now it's not going to do it. Okay, never mind. We'll just skip right over that. So again, the coverage D you want to run is cover 3. Same adjustments: man align, shift line to the right, crash them out. Here's what I'm talking about with the weird coverage. Jordan will like actually run all the way over here into coverage, so that'll stop like a lot of slants and stuff. It's pretty cool. It all just depends. Sometimes when you man align, you will get Johnson right here in your light blue on the right side, or you'll get this safety up here. Just pay attention. This kind of screws you up in tournaments because you can't like show your play to the other guy, but you'll get a feel for it. So I'll show you again the rush on the right side. That time he almost got there again. The idea is to force a quick pass into 8-man coverage. The coverage adjustments I like to do for this. Again, you have that spy right there, and then if I'm lurking over here on the right, what I like to do is shade the B receiver off, or you can even man align him. I mean, man him up on coverage, and then shade him off. What this will do is it'll let me lurk the middle of the field, instead of having to worry about out routes and stuff, because if you shade off like that, I'll show you, it probably won't work first try because I screwed it up. But if they try like a smart routed out route and you've shaded off on man coverage, yeah, so he gets torched right there. Bad example. Let me set this up again. It's because I'm man aligning, so fuck, how do I explain this? Let me reset the play here. Wow, Jordan didn't move. There he goes. Okay, so let's say you don't man align and you want to do shading, and you're lurking over here, then you can, man, this still isn't working. What the fuck? One sec, guys. Awkward silence. So now you're lurking over here, right? Did I man align? Is that what I'm doing? No, I didn't man align. Okay, there we go. Okay, so if you're lurking on the right over here and they're hitting you with out routes and shit, you can shade Thomas to the right, which is done by pressing Y, A, B, and then right on the right stick. And then you also want to shade him off. So you do Y, A, B, and then off. So that'll pretty much give him a prevent defense for man coverage on that guy. And the funny thing about that is it actually defends smart out routes pretty well. And then that leaves you room to go over here and lurk or whatever. You don't have to worry about being over here for coverage first. So I'll just show you what it looks like. That's just a small adjustment I like to make because it catches him off guard. I should have moved Johnson off, but you can see that the cornerback was right there to defend that out route. So that's just an adjustment I like to do, but here's the coverage D again. So you want to hit cover 3. If you want to shade like I just show you, don't man align. Otherwise you want to man align, shift the D to the right, crash them out, move Jordan over here, put Jackson in a spy, and then lurk with your safety or your linebacker over here. Excuse me. And then you're going to get that linebacker in from the outside, pretty much to the quarterback, and again the idea is to force a quick throw. So that's 3-4 odd. That's the base defense I run. Like I said, that's what I'm in the most when I'm running defense in a money game, because you get dual edge heat and it's quick. You can send heat from either side, and the coverage D is really good. So if you spend any time working on a defense in this video, I want you to do it in 3-4 odd, because that's the best defense. Now I'm going to show you similar concepts, but it's going to be out of 3-4 over ed. This is the secondary 3-4 formation that I run, just because the coverage and where the safeties are is a little different. So you can throw some different coverages at your opponent. It's just useful for different scenarios than what 3-4 odd is useful. Again, you're going to get dual edge heat, heat from either side, and then coverage D. The coverage D in 3-4 overhead is worse, but it does have a better prevent coverage D, which I will show you, and the adjustments for that as well. Do pay attention to this, because the coverage D I'm going to show you at the end of it is actually really good for like 3rd and longs. So you can actually run this as your base D if you prefer it. It's essentially the same concepts. It's just I prefer 3-4 odd. So the guys that are going to get in on your dual edge heat are going to be your right outside linebacker right there, who's actually lined up as a defensive end. So 3-4 overhead is essentially 4-3 stack with a linebacker at defensive end. If you didn't notice that, it's pretty cool. But you're going to have your linebacker right there, so you want to have one of your blitzers where 91 is. That's Tomahawk Lee for me. And then the other one is going to be the other defensive end, which is going to be Justin Houston. And then for your coverage D, you're going to want to put a linebacker at defensive tackle. This is new this year. There's a lot of formations you can do this with. You can essentially have a D lineman that's a linebacker, which is great for quarterback spies. So you're going to want to put like a backup linebacker at D tackle for your spy, and then your best pass rusher at D tackle right there. Also with these coverages, guys, like I showed you, you have yellow zones on the outside and you have man coverage on the inside. If you wanted to, or if you had time, you could put your safeties in the cornerback spots where 27 and 24 are, and then put your cornerbacks at safety because they're going to be playing man coverage. That's preference. I don't like to do that because I'd rather have someone that can lay a big hit over the middle, and the way the coverage is just set up in general, you aren't going to get burned that bad with those man coverage, with safeties being in man coverage. But I'll show you here. The base play you're going to come out in is Thunder Smoke. It's the A play right there. Same offensive play. Your adjustments, you're going to want, again, if you want to shade, don't man align. I'm going to say that over and over because it does make a difference. Shading is a great way to play defense, make adjustments and such, but let's just assume you're not shading. So you're going to man align, you're going to push the defensive line out, you're going to crash them out, and then you're going to shift the linebackers to the right. So again, you get this blitz angle over here. It's the same concept as in 3-4 odd. And then the adjustment you're going to want to do is you're going to want to move Jordan over here. So now you've got deeper safeties, which is why I said the coverage is different than 3-4 odd. These safeties are deeper, so if they're trying to hit you with streaks on that blitz, they'll be back there. And then obviously you're going to want to do your yellow zones over here. And then audible your linebacker to whatever, and just lurk over here. So this is dual edge. I'll show you what it looks like. Of course it screws up right there because I'm trying to show you. This actually hasn't been working as well. Like I used to run this as my defense, and like recently, I don't know if they patched something or what it is, but it's not getting in as much. Hopefully I can show you here. Yeah, so you get the ends off the edge like that. As you can see, Houston off the right side there came flying in there. I've only got a 4K Xbox, so I never get replays. But as you can see, Houston got in there. Like, look where Noshawn Moreno is on this play. Like, he's running a flat route. He got maybe like 8 yards away from Peyton Manning before the blitz got there. That's something about 3-4 overhead. That right side rusher gets, I just dropped my controller. Jesus Christ. Something about 3-4 ed. That right side rusher gets in there so quick. It's kind of ridiculous. That's why I like to throw this at guys who are trying to make adjustments or whatever. And the adjustments are pretty quick, so this should be dual edge again. Yeah, wow, I actually got 4 people in there. Did you see that? Jesus. I am running this on all Madden, by the way. But again, you got the dual edge in there, and this is actually probably a faster blitz than 3-4 odd. I just don't run it because I do like to mix in the coverage D, and as you saw, the 3-4 odd coverage D was ridiculous.
But yeah, that's the dual edge.
Just one more time, you're going to man align, crash, spread the D line, crash them out, and then send your linebackers to the right, and then you're going to move this linebacker over here on that weird blitz angle. And then you're going to lurk with Johnson, and then you can put these guys on yellow zones like what I would do, etc. So this is what dual edge looks like. Didn't work that time. But you got the point from the other two. If you get in there, it's really fast. It's a really good blitz. If you wanted to run coverage D for this, you're going to look at cover 2 sync. That's what it looks like. You're going to want to man align if you want to, or you can run cover 3, but I don't like this cover 3 because they're purple zones, and purple zones this year are kind of garbage. What is that blitzer doing there? Let's see this. Okay, yeah. I was just curious about that, sorry. So the coverage D, you could run cover 3. I just don't like those purple zones, but again, you're going to want to man align, shift the line out, crash the line. I'm coming off a cold, guys, sorry. Then move Jordan over here like if you were blitzing. And that's what it should look like, except you're playing coverage D. And then you have Martin right here in your spy. And then you can lurk over here, do whatever you got to do. Yeah, that's just the coverage D out of it. The good thing about that coverage D is you get an isolation on this defensive end over here. So if you can get a block shed, that can actually get in there really quick. But anyway, I forgot to show you each side heat, sorry. So you're still in thunder smoke. You make your adjustments, right? If you want heat from the right side, you're just going to move this guy over, put him in a purple again, and just run this like normal. And Houston gets right in there. Zombo actually got in there too, that was weird. This is kind of a glitchy blitz, I've been noticing, but anyway. If you want heat from the left side, you're going to move Jordan over here like this, and then you're going to put Zombo and whatever again. Don't put spies on the line because then you'll get blockers that slide over and pick up the blitzer. So you're going to have to rush 5 to get someone in there, but as you can see, Holly gets in right there, and actually that's twice in a row that middle linebacker got in as well. That's not 100% that middle linebacker will get in there, but that's kind of a nice bonus. So that's dual edge and each side heat, and also the coverage. Now what I want to show you is the coverage D I run for 3rd and long situations. It's out of 3-4 over Ed, and it's cover 2. And I'll show you the adjustments I make for this. Let's find a play with a post. Why shallow? Let's do. This is preparation at its finest. I don't want to do why shallow cross because it's a really deep post, but whatever. So you're in cover 2, right? Number one thing for this is do not man align if you're running this. Again, I suggest running this in 3rd and like 15 or more. Because most of the time your opponent's going to be looking for like skinny posts and stuff like that. So don't man align. Put this guy in a spy right here. Then you're going to crash the line out or shift the line out, and that's it. Now what you're going to want to do is shade the B receiver, the outside receivers. You're going to shade them right and then back off. Again with Decker on the left side, shade him left, or shade him to the outside, and then back him off. So that's what it should look like. And then your last adjustment, you're going to hit Y and then up on the right stick, which makes your zones go to the sidelines. Now, if you think someone's going to run a corner route with like Thomas, you can put Zombo on a purple right here. It's all adjustments like I said before. But the main thing is you're going to want to have these guys manned up and shaded to the right. and then you're going to want to leave this middle linebacker alone, because if you see how deep he drops back, it's kind of like a cover 2 buck look, and that's going to take away those skinny posts like crazy. So this is the coverage G I run, and then the way the blitzers come in on the 3 linemen, they actually can get in there pretty quick.
So this is a nice safe defense for 3rd and long.
I'll try to hit the
Skinny post right
there on Decker, and I'll show you what it looks like. That actually worked, which was not what I was expecting. Okay, I'll try to show you again. So don't man a line. I'd actually probably not shift the line out, I'm sorry. And then you're going to want to shade to the outside and then back off the 2 outside receivers, and then use either Zombo or Jordan right here, one of these guys, and just kind of watch the middle. But this guy's going to get the posts pretty much taken care of. It's a really safe defense, like I said. I'll try to hit this again. And I'm just dotting it up. So, Jesus, maybe I'm not pass committing. Alright, I'll try this one more time. I promise this works, I'm just getting bad examples. There, I pass committed. This should work now. The safety's right there. That's a deep post, that's probably why it's a bad example. I don't want to spend too much more time on this, but I'll try to find like a quicker post route that's a better example for this. I don't know the Broncos playbook at all. Let's just try the slot post right here. So again, your adjustments, don't man a line, shade to the outside and back off on the outside receivers, and then use one of these guys, and then put that guy in a spy. Let's try to hit Welker on this post. As you can see, Johnson's right there, and if that was me using that, that would be a hit stick and probably a drop. That's just the safe defense that I use. I promise this works really well in 3rd and long situations. If you watch some of the money game videos I have coming out, you'll see me run this, and I get a couple picks on post routes and stuff. So not the best examples, but I gotta keep going in the video. Let me get a drink of water real quick. Orgasmic. Not the best examples, like I said, but I gotta keep moving on. So the next thing I want to address is 3-4 even. The funny thing about this is essentially the same formation as 3-4 odd, except the line is already shifted for you. So if you want to run a blitz and you don't like that extra adjustment, you can actually run this. Again, the guys that are going to get in are your outside linebackers. I don't run coverage G out of this because I hardly run 3-4 even ever. But I'm just showing you just because it's another nice blitz out of here. So what was I in? No, I'm in single back. What am I doing? Okay. So the play is pinch. It's the X play right there. So as you can see, it's 3-4 odd, except the line is already shifted to the right for you. So all you're going to do is man a line, crash the line out, and then move this guy over just like in 3-4 odd. Now you've essentially got the same look. This should be dual edge right here. Same concept. If you are slow with your adjustments or you're just getting used to this and you want to send a dual edge blitz, I would do this blitz over the 3-4 odd one just because it is one less adjustment. But obviously the coverage D out of this is not that great, so I don't use this that often. But again, your adjustments, man a line, crash the line out, and then move that linebacker over as if it was 3-4 odd, and then obviously your coverage adjustments or whatever you want to do. Get dual edge right there. If you want to send heat from the right, you man a line, you crash out. That's another thing too, this safety will come up here for no reason sometimes, so you have to move them off. Just a suggestion, that's a 3-4 even thing. Pressure from the right, you move Jordan over here like so. Put him on a purple like we said in 3-4 odd. Whatever you want to do. Then you'll get pressure from the right. Excuse me, guys. I'm still kind of sick. If you want pressure from the left, move Jordan over here and then put Houston on a zone or whatever. It's the same thing as 3-4 odd, guys. It's just one less adjustment with you having to shift your line to the right. But
I'm so used to this by now that adjustment takes like a third of a second.
so it doesn't bother me any. But this will get pressure from the left. That's
Set up. And it's about the same speed as 3-4 odd.
So I just wanted to address that really quick. I'm getting kind of hoarse. Sorry. All right. So that's it for 3-4. Those are 2.5 really good formations to run defensive scheme out of, and those blitzes are pretty quick that I showed you. So those are nice. What I want to show you now is nickel 2-4-5 even. This is a formation I would suggest running if, let's say your opponent is running doubles flex wing out of Green Bay's playbook or Miami's. That's where you've got the tight end and the running back in front of and behind the quarterback respectively on the right side of him. And then they've got that halfback dive play. They run up the middle. That's pretty hard to stop. If someone's doing that, or they're doing a lot of under center runs, I like to go to the nickel 2-4-5 even, just because you get a lot of people stacked at the line. And it's a pretty good run stopper. This is my run stopper D, kind of. And like I said, it's all preference and adjustments, so it depends. But this is a pretty nice run D, and you can still scheme blitzes out of it. And also the blitzes here are zone blitzes instead of man blitzes, like what I've been showing you. So the adjustments are a little easier, and the coverage is a little safer. But the blitzes are slower as a trade-off. But enough babbling. Your adjustments here. You're going to want this cornerback as your fastest cornerback, and then you're going to want this safety as your fastest safety, where 29 is. Obviously Eric Berry's there, so he's fine. And then also you're going to want a linebacker on this D tackle for your spy, and then your best pass rusher. Best pass rushers on 91, 70, and 50. So the play you're going to come out in is sugar cover 3 bluff. And that's what it looks like. As you can see, they're all stacked at the line like that. And the way the blitzers operate, just stock on this play, is they won't touch the center at all. So that allows you to send corner blitzes and essentially bring 5 and get a guy in. So you're going to want to man a line, and what that'll do is that'll move the safety back. So you want to move him back up, and you want it to look like this. Now this is a pretty risky looking pass defense, because you only got the safety back here to essentially cover all of this area. So what I like to do is I'll move this guy over to, like, see Welker split out right there. I'll move him over here, and then I'll move this linebacker back here. So that gives me a little more coverage and a little more time to make an adjustment or whatever. But if you're going to blitz the dual edge, this is very simple. You're going to select these 2 DBs right here. And these guys will just get right in there. That's why you want a fast one right here. Blitzing from the left side in this is faster than blitzing from the right, just so you know. And also, if you're going to blitz from a side, I would suggest putting the respective cornerback on the outside on a yellow zone. So if you're sending dual edge, that's what it should look like. And then obviously pass commit. This looks like really shitty coverage, but it's honestly not that bad. If you're a little scared, you can man up these guys or something. I don't know. It's all preference, like I said. But this is what dual edge heat should look like. As you can see, you get those 2 DBs in there. The left side is faster than the right, like I said. So your adjustments, again, you're just going to want to man a line, and then whatever side you want to blitz from, you blitz that DB, and then you put his respective corner on a yellow zone. So I'm sending left edge heat right here. So that's what this should look like. That's B gap. He essentially gets a free run at the quarterback. And if I'm sitting right edge heat right here, that's what this should look like. That one's a little slow, so be careful with that. But it will get in there
pretty easily, and it's a zone blitz, like I said, so it's got safe coverage for the most part.
And
it's easy to set up. And again, this will stop
a lot of under center runs and a lot of like read option runs and stuff like that. It's just a good run D that you can still blitz out of. As far as coverage D, you don't really want to tip him off, so I would still move these guys up here. But if you really just want to play coverage D, you can move them back like this. Just make sure those purple zones get to the outside for those out routes. And then you can pull these off like here, and then obviously put your linebacker in a spy. And then you can use a linebacker, you can use a safety. It's just a base cover 3 play. And that right side and left side linebackers will get isolations on their guy again. So if you can get a block shed, that'll get in there really quick. So that's sugar cover 3 bluff. That's the nickel 2-4-5, the way that I run it. This will stop HB bases really well, read options really well. It's probably the safest D that I show you, like I said, because it's a zone blitz and it's a pretty good run D. So as far as fag D goes, this is the way to go for that. There's that right edge heat. It's pretty slow, but what are you gonna do? It's got good coverage behind it, so. So that's nickel 2-4-5 even. Now the last thing I want to show you. This is the last formation I'm going to show you. Try to keep this video under 45 minutes if I can. Is sub 2-3-6. Now the interesting thing about this formation is it's essentially nickel, except it's a dime package. If that makes any sense. It's actually a dollar package, I'm sorry. So you've got a linebacker at D end right here. And then you've got a cornerback at linebacker right here. So what you're going to want to do is put your fastest cornerback right there, and then your second fastest one where 21 is. I only run a blitz out of this. I don't run coverage just because I haven't figured out how to do it well yet. And I've got so many other formations that I only really run this in certain scenarios, like excuse me, God. Sub 2-3-6 is really good at stopping shotgun runs. HB base, triple option, read option, QB wrap. This is my go-to blitz if I know that my opponent is trying to do a lot of running out of shotgun. Like if I see them pick Philadelphia's playbook or something. Or they're just trying to run a lot of read options and stuff. So the play is going to be silver shoot pinch. And the setup is going to be essentially the same concept as what the 3-4 schemes were. So you're going to want to man a line and then crash the line out, and that's all you have to do as far as pre-play. And then you're gonna move this cornerback behind the linebacker like this, and then you're gonna move this cornerback behind the linebacker like this. Oh, and I forgot to mention, when you're blitzing and they draw back in a pass in this, the guys who are going to get in on the blitz are 21 right there, your cornerback, and then your defensive end right there, who's going to be Justin Houston. I actually screwed that up. Sorry. So again, man a line, crash the line out, move this cornerback here, and move this cornerback here. And this should be dual edge again. As you can see, these safeties are really deep. So you can move them up if you want. I think that's fine because you're going to be lurking right here anyway. So if he tries to quick pass the tight end, you're going to be there. And if he tries to quick pass Welker over here, your safety's just going to come up and lay a hit on him. So it's not really a big deal. Again, you can put the yellow zones on the outside. But this should be dual edge. As you can see, you get the defensive end on the right side, who's essentially a stand-up linebacker, and then you get the cornerback from the left side in. But the way these are stacked like this is actually really good at stopping shotgun runs. I'll show you what it looks like with dual edge again. As you can see, the right side is faster than the left side, but that's just because I have a really good blitzing linebacker. So do what you want with it. If you want left edge heat, you're going to do man align and crash line out. You're going to send Robinson like this, and then you're going to move Parker here and put him on a purple or whatever. Same concept as before, guys. And then you'll get that guy in. No, you won't, actually. I actually haven't tried this aside from dual edge, so disregard everything I just said. This is preparation at its finest. I just only run dual edge when I run this. I don't know why. Let's see if you can get right edge with this concept. Yeah, see, that worked fine, and that's actually a really fast right edge because the linebacker just gets to come off his thing and just run right at the quarterback. So you can get nice right edge. The left edge didn't work, probably because it's so slow. But that's what the right edge looks like. And like I said, I run this when I'm trying to stop shotgun runs, so like HP base. So is that an audible? Yes, it is. Good. So let's say he's running 45 quick base. You're going to man align, crash line out like so. Move your cornerbacks like this. And then you're going to want to lurk with this guy like before. If he runs HP base, it's just locked up. That's the bottom line. You got that guy running at him from the right side, and then you got Holly standing straight up staring at the running back. So I'll show it again. Man align, crash line out. Whoops, move this guy over here, and then lurk. And if they run a shotgun run, he's just going to get hit in the backfield. That was kind of stupid. That's all Madden at its finest. But if you feel like they're going to run more than they're going to pass, you can put like your best tackling guy right here because he's going to be the one. Let's flip this and show you that way too. So let's say they're trying to run HV base to the right, and you have this set up like this. Show you what it looks like here. There's just nowhere to go. As you can see, hopefully I can just show you how the blocking panned out. Your blitzing guy blew up this side, so you can either cut it up into some D tackles or you can cut it back. There's just really nowhere to run. I'll show you one more time. So again, run this if you're trying to stop shotgun runs, HV base, read option, triple option, whatever. If they're running read option, make sure before the play you hold left trigger and you hit the A button. What that's going to do is that's going to make sure that every single time they run a read option, whoever they're trying to manipulate, the defensive end or whatever, he's going to play the quarterback instead of the running back. So then you can just come up on Johnson and play it like a normal run play, and you don't have to worry about if it's read option or not. So hit left trigger and A before, just to be sure. I can't show you an example because obviously I'm not going to run a read option with Peyton Manning. But here's HV base to the right side. Just want to show you. You can just get right in there with the linebacker. As you can see, that cornerback coming in from the right blew that up. So that's it for the ebook, guys. That's all I really have to show you. This is the defense that I run in money games, like I said. A lot of really nice blitzes and a lot of really nice schemes I just gave you guys for free. So I'd really appreciate it if you could like the video and subscribe. I've got a lot more stuff coming out, and my commentary usually isn't this boring or lecture-ish. I'm usually actually a pretty funny guy. Just take my word for it. But this is kind of just an instructional video, so what are you going to do? Just going to Ben Stein it up. But why did I just say that like Stewie from Family Guy? Whatever. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video. That's a pretty good defense for free, like I said. So you guys are welcome. Thanks for sticking around, if you made it this far watching the whole video, and I hope this helps out your defense a lot. Rate, comment, subscribe. I got more stuff coming, but thanks for watching again. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.